Most people think silence is a void. They're wrong. Silence isn't the absence of power, it's the ultimate expression of it. Today we master the predatory stillness of Anton Chigurh. The biosignature of fear. Imagine a gas station in West Texas. Dust, dim light, and a nervous proprietor. When Anton Chigurh enters, the air changes. He doesn't offer social cues. He doesn't mirror the clerk's hospitality. He occupies space with effective sovereignty. The proprietor makes a primary tactical error. He tries to fill the vacuum. He babbles about the weather and the store's location. In neuroscience, this is a System 1 failure. Faced with an anomaly, the clerk's amygdala perceives a threat and defaults to social grooming, using noise to lower tension. But in the architecture of self-defense, noise is a biosignature of fear. To Chigurh, these words are just data points. Every forced chuckle reveals internal instability. Chigurh practices encroachment literacy. He knows that by refusing to participate in the social dance, he has already won the territory. The anatomy of reaction. We see this play out constantly in boardrooms and social gatherings. When met with a cold stare or a prolonged pause, the average person feels a desperate urge to fix the moment. They over-explain, they apologize, or they leak information. This is a surrender of sovereignty to the ghost of social approval. Key insight. Chigurh is a closed loop. He requires zero external validation. While the clerk drowns in the heat of panic, Chigurh operates in the cold of strategic analysis. He understands a fundamental truth of human psychology. The moment you attempt to fill the silence, you admit the vacuum is more powerful than your internal peace. You aren't communicating, you are confessing your discomfort. To master this stillness is to stop being a reactor and start being the environment that others must adapt to. It is the transition from being the prey that scuttles to the predator that waits. Before we move to the mechanics of this silence, think. In your last high-pressure conversation, were you the one building the bridge of words, or were you the one standing on the shore? Share your nervous talker moments in the comments below. The architecture of present silence. Anton Chigurh's silence is not a defensive withdrawal. It is present silence. It is heavy, pressurized, and deliberate. By stripping away micro-movements, fidgeting, darting eyes, or forced smiles, he signals to the human lizard brain that he is a top-tier predator. He isn't hiding, he is simply there. The zero-response strategy. Chigurh utilizes what we call the zero-response strategy. By providing the absolute minimum of social lubricant, he forces his counterpart to provide it all. In any human interaction, there is an invisible territorial line. Most people negotiate or compromise on this boundary. Chigurh, however, anchors himself immovably, forcing the gas station clerk to overextend emotionally until the man becomes a guest in his own store. For the quiet achiever, the lesson is profound. Explanation is often a form of submission. When you over-explain, you admit that the other person's reality is the one that matters. You are seeking their validation to exist. The strategic pause. Instead of reacting, utilize the strategic pause. When met with an interruption or a dismissive tone, do nothing. Wait 3 to 5 seconds. Let their words hang unanchored in the air. In that vacuum of silence, the heat of the moment cools. The aggressor begins to hear how they actually sound. This forced stillness shifts them from their impulsive System 1, emotional reaction, to a self-aware System 2, logical reflection. You aren't fighting them, you are holding up a mirror of silence. Outcome independence. Finally, consider Chigurh's coin toss, the pinnacle of outcome independence. He is terrifying because he is entirely unattached to the result. To harness this power, you must practice post-heroic detachment. You aren't there to be the hero or the protagonist. You are there to be the observer. By keeping your internal light contained, You force others to project their own insecurities onto your silence. The three pillars of clinical power. Physical stillness. Deliberately remove nervous noise and unnecessary motion. Cognitive delay. Never let your instincts or the other person's urgency dictate the tempo. Territorial anchoring. Occupy your space fully without seeking permission or apologizing for your presence. If you're finding value in this tactical breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps us keep the clinical noir perspective alive. The sovereign outcome, the scene. The coin is pocketed. The predator departs. The shopkeeper remains, physically unscathed, yet psychologically dismantled. His social identity has been erased because Chigurh refused to acknowledge the game. He wasn't a player, he was merely an atmospheric variable. The reality of the predator. In our daily lives, we encounter social predators, the chronic interrupters, the subtle manipulators, and the status seekers. True sovereignty begins the moment you stop viewing these interactions as battles to be won. In the realm of post-heroic leadership, true authority never needs to shout. It does not perform, it simply remains. The power of stillness. By cultivating this internal stillness, you become the immovable anchor of the room. While others frantically react to every perceived slight or social cue, you operate within the cold clarity of System 2 thinking. This is not passivity, it is the highest, most refined form of action. The active, relentless maintenance of your effective sovereignty. The high-status silence. We take the cold precision of a predator and redirect it toward the preservation of our own internal tranquility. Silence is a high-status move because it serves as living proof that you are not desperate for external validation or social approval. The most powerful presence in any environment is the one that cannot be reached, provoked, or shaken. Internal alignment. Social mastery is not a set of outward tactics. It is a state of internal alignment. By embracing the predatory stillness of the observer, you transform the surrounding chaos into a private sanctuary of logic. Walk forward with the quiet authority of one who understands a fundamental truth. The most powerful word is the one you choose not to say. The sovereign mindset. Observe. Do not absorb the energy of the aggressor. Detach. Your identity is not contingent on their acknowledgement. Command. Control the tempo by refusing to rush. Be still. Be sovereign. The next time you feel that itchy, desperate urge to fill a silence, hold it for exactly 5 seconds longer than feels comfortable. Observe the shift in power. Then come back to this video and tell us what happened in that space.